After weeks of delay and haggling, the House and Senate passed a measure Wednesday that would fund the government until December 9th and allow lawmakers to return to the campaign trail. The Senate voted 72-26 to pass a so-called continuing resolution, or in Washington known as a CR, Wednesday afternoon, and the House followed later in the evening, approving of the same bill, 342-85. The measure now heads to the president's desk more than 48 hours before the government was set to shut down over a lapse in funding. The bill cleared because of some good deal making between not so nice Speaker Paul Ryan and my girl Nancy Pelosi agreed to add Flint funding to a water resource bill that's going to be taken up in December. The Democrats have expressed concerns that Flint would be stiffed in a conference committee to reconcile the two chambers' different versions of legislation later this year. By adding Flint language in the House bill, however, the disagreement between the two measures was only over $50 million. So, the water bill passed the House Wednesday afternoon, and after the November election, expected to go to a conference on a version of the water bill that will include helping the people of Flint, Michigan. This is a big win for the American people. The last time the government shut down America, it was utter and total bedlam in America. It really was. It was bedlam. It was crazy. The government shut down. People who wanted to work didn't have the ability to work. And that's a scary, scary, scary thing, but it was indeed a reality for thousands of government employees. And it wasn't like, I mean, I think people assume when the government shuts down, it means like a couple of bureaucrats that push papers go home. But when the government shuts down, like the people that inspect your meat to make sure that when you go to the grocery store and you're cooking that steak or you're cooking that lamb chop, that it's not like it doesn't have an E. coli. That's somebody's job, right? And they get paid by the government to do it. And when you shut the government down, they no longer can get that job done. That's not the only job. People that regulate nuclear power plants to make sure they don't explode and hurt millions of Americans, they work for the federal government. People that inspect bridges to make sure the bridges don't collapse, they work for the federal government. So I'm happy that Congress finally got their act together and passed a bill that would fund the government for at least until December. And when we get now, we'll see what happens. Depending upon who wins the presidential election will determine how this lame duck thing goes and if they can indeed get a deal to not shut the government down before a new president's inaugurated or a new Congress comes in. America, we'll be watching here at the Fowler Show about these matters, but you should be watching at home. This is really important for folks at home to understand that what happens in Congress has a real impact on our daily lives. Right? When we send our legislators to Washington, we send them to Washington to get work done, not to sit on their rear ends and do nothing. And sadly, for the past, I would say 5 or so years, we've had members of Congress that have come to Washington, they've been obstructionists, they've blocked things, they've passed nothing, they've done nothing, and then they've went home and they've asked for you to vote for them again. This election, you have a choice. On November 8th, America, we have a choice. If you have a member of Congress that hasn't done anything for you recently, like the Janet Jackson song says, "What have you done for me lately?" If they've done nothing for you, now is the time, America, to vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Both members of both House members and Senate members. All right? If you're in New Hampshire, that means Kelly Ayotte hasn't done anything for you. So vote her out. If you're in Illinois, Ron Kirk has done nothing for you. So vote him out. If you're in Minnesota, Ron Johnson has done nothing for you. Vote him out. If you're in Missouri, Roy Blunt has done nothing for you. So vote him out. If you're in Florida, we already know because he told you he didn't do shit for you. Marco Rubio, who doesn't want to be in the Senate, but he's running for Senate. Vote him out. Burr, for Senator Burr in North Carolina, done nothing for you. Vote him out. You hear me? This is our chance, America. This is our chance to level the playing field. This is our chance to fix a broken legislative body So let's get to work and let's fix it. And by fixing it, I mean going out and vote. Go vote. Don't boo, vote. Don't get angry, vote. Yes, you should protest, and I believe in it. I believe in our right to protest, but I also believe in our right to vote. And I know people are going to say, oh, Richard, they're not going to count my vote. My vote doesn't count. They blah, blah, blah. They're going to steal the election. Maniacs will do what maniacs are going to do. What we've got to do is show that we're strong and courageous and we're going to go vote.